Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686, Runway Incursion and Miscommunication. Welcome to Air Crash Detective. Tonight, we delve into one of Italy's biggest aviation tragedies, the horrific story of Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686. On October 8, 2001, Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686, an MD-87, was scheduled to fly from Milan Linate Airport in Italy to Copenhagen Airport in Denmark. Tragically, this routine flight ended in catastrophe when the aircraft collided with a Cessna Citation II on the runway during takeoff. The collision resulted in the deaths of all 110 people on board the MD-87, 4 people on the Cessna, and 4 ground personnel. The investigation revealed that a runway incursion and miscommunication between air traffic control and the flight crews led to the disaster, highlighting critical issues in airport safety and communication protocols. Conditions on the day of the flight. On October 8, 2001, the weather conditions at Milan Linate Airport were foggy, with visibility reduced to about 200 meters, 650 feet. The temperature was around 12 degrees Celsius, 54 degrees Fahrenheit, and there was no significant wind. These conditions created a challenging environment for both pilots and air traffic controllers, necessitating precise communication and adherence to procedures to ensure safe operations. The low visibility made it difficult for pilots to see other aircraft and ground personnel, increasing the risk of runway incursions. The aircraft, MD-87. Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686 was operated by a McDonnell Douglas MD-87, a short to medium-range twin-engine jet airliner known for its reliability and efficiency. Model, McDonnell Douglas MD-87, part of the MD-80 series known for its fuel efficiency and performance on short to medium-haul routes. First flight, December 4, 1986, with advanced avionics and efficient design compared to earlier models. Capacity, configured to carry up to 130 passengers in a typical 2-class layout. Maximum altitude, capable of reaching up to 37,000 feet. Range, approximately 2,900 nautical miles, 5,370 kilometers. Engines, equipped with 2 Pratt & Whitney JT8D 217C turbofan engines, each providing about 20,000 pounds of thrust. Despite its advanced design, the events of Flight 686 highlighted vulnerabilities in ground operations and communication. The airline and its crew. Scandinavian Airlines, known as SAS, is the flag carrier of Denmark, Norway and Sweden, with a strong reputation for safety and service. The airline operates a large fleet of aircraft, serving numerous international destinations. The crew of Flight 686 included experienced professionals. Captain Joachim Gustafsson, aged 36, with over 5,800 flight hours, including significant experience on the MD-87. First Officer Anders Hildebo, aged 27, with over 3,500 flight hours. First Officer Hildebo was well trained and had a solid understanding of the aircraft and its systems. The professionalism and experience of the crew were evident, but the accident highlighted deficiencies in communication and situational awareness. Scandinavian Airlines and its fleet. Scandinavian Airlines operates a diverse and modern fleet, including models such as the Airbus A320, Boeing 737, and MD-80 series. The airline is known for its rigorous maintenance standards and commitment to safety. Fleet composition. SAS's fleet includes a mix of narrow-body and wide-body aircraft, designed to serve both short-haul and long-haul routes efficiently. Safety record. Scandinavian Airlines has historically maintained a strong safety record, although it has experienced a few notable incidents over the years. The airline continually works to improve its safety protocols and pilot training programs to mitigate risks. Flight departure and initial ascent. Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686 was scheduled to depart from Milan Linate Airport at 8:10 a.m. local time, heading for Copenhagen Airport. The initial phase of the flight was routine, with the aircraft taxiing to the runway for takeoff. However, during the takeoff roll, the aircraft collided with a Cessna Citation II that had mistakenly entered the active runway. The low visibility conditions played a significant role in the sequence of events leading up to the collision. Pre-disaster moments. As Flight 686 began its takeoff roll, the crew was unaware that a Cessna Citation II had mistakenly entered the same runway due to miscommunication with air traffic control. The Cessna was cleared to taxi, but misunderstood the instructions, leading to the runway incursion. The low visibility conditions made it impossible for the crews of both aircraft to see each other in time to avoid the collision. From an aviation safety expert's perspective, low visibility conditions necessitate enhanced vigilance and precise communication between pilots and air traffic controllers. In foggy conditions, runway incursions become a significant risk as visual cues are severely limited. Standard protocols include the use of ground radar systems to track aircraft movements on the ground and strict adherence to communication procedures to prevent misunderstandings. Despite these measures, the complexity of managing multiple aircraft movements in such conditions can lead to errors. Pilot and air traffic control communication. During the critical moments leading up to the collision, communication between the pilots and air traffic control was marked by confusion and misinterpretation. The Cessna Citation II was cleared to taxi and hold short of runway 36R. However, due to the low visibility and possible misinterpretation of instructions, the Cessna entered the active runway. The final communications before the collision highlight the confusion. ATC to Cessna, Citation CJ2, taxi to holding position short of runway 36R. Cessna to ATC, Roger, taxi to holding position short of runway 36R. ATC to SAS 686. SAS 686, cleared for takeoff, runway 36R. SAS 686 to ATC, cleared for takeoff, runway 36R. The critical error occurred when the Cessna's crew misunderstood the clearance and taxied onto the runway. ATC, preoccupied with other aircraft movements, failed to recognize the runway incursion. As a result, the pilots of Flight 686, cleared for takeoff, proceeded without knowledge of the imminent danger. The catastrophic event. At approximately 8:10 a.m. local time, Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686 collided with the Cessna Citation CJ2 during its takeoff roll on runway 36R. The MD-87 struck the Cessna at high speed, causing both aircraft to explode on impact. The MD-87 continued down the runway, losing control and crashing into a nearby baggage handling building, resulting in a massive fire. The flight data recorder, FDR, and cockpit voice recorder, CVR, revealed the sequence of events leading up to the collision. The FDR data showed that the MD-87 was accelerating normally, with engine thrust settings and airspeed increasing as expected for takeoff. The CVR captured the crew's last-second realization of the Cessna's presence, with exclamations of alarm and attempts to abort the takeoff. However, the reaction time was insufficient to avoid the collision due to the high speed and short distance. The impact was catastrophic. The MD-87's left wing struck the Cessna, tearing it apart and igniting a massive fireball. The MD-87's main landing gear collapsed, and the aircraft veered off the runway, crashing into the baggage handling building and further exacerbating the fire. Aircraft response to the catastrophe. The MD-87, despite its advanced design and multiple safety features, was unable to avoid the collision due to the low visibility and rapid sequence of events. The aircraft's structural integrity was compromised immediately upon impact with the Cessna, leading to a catastrophic failure. From a technical perspective, the aircraft's systems were functioning normally up to the point of collision. The engines were producing the required thrust, and the control surfaces were responding correctly to pilot inputs. The impact with the Cessna resulted in immediate and severe structural damage, causing the aircraft to break apart and catch fire. The flight data recorder provided detailed insights into the crew's actions and the aircraft's performance, highlighting the limitations of human response time in such critical situations. Crew and passenger final moments. The final moments on Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686 were marked by confusion, urgency, and a desperate attempt to avoid the collision. The cockpit voice recorder captured the pilot's realization of the Cessna's presence just seconds before impact. The crew's efforts to maneuver the aircraft were futile due to the high speed and low visibility. Passengers likely experienced a sudden awareness of the abnormal flight behavior, feeling the rapid acceleration followed by the catastrophic collision. The cabin crew, despite their training, would have been unable to manage the situation effectively given the rapid progression of events. The final seconds before impact were filled with panic and chaos as the aircraft collided with the Cessna and subsequently crashed into a building. Impact, aftermath, and reforms. The crash of Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686 resulted in the loss of all 110 people on board the MD-87, 4 people on the Cessna, and 4 ground personnel. The crash site, located on the runway and extending to a nearby building, was a scene of devastation, with both aircraft destroyed and debris scattered over a wide area. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to recover victims and survivors from the wreckage. Among the victims were numerous families and business travelers, adding to the tragedy's emotional toll. The severity of the injuries among the survivors was significant, with many suffering from burns, fractures, and smoke inhalation. The immediate aftermath saw emergency services battling intense flames and dense smoke to reach survivors. The investigation, led by the Italian National Agency for the Safety of Flight, ANSV, concluded that the crash was caused by a runway incursion and miscommunication between air traffic control and the flight crews. The investigation highlighted several critical errors. Miscommunication. The Cessna's crew misunderstood ATC instructions, leading to their unintended entry onto the active runway. Situational awareness. Air traffic controllers failed to maintain situational awareness in the low visibility conditions, missing the Cessna's runway incursion. Pilot vigilance. The MD-87's crew, while following clearance, were unable to visually confirm the runway was clear due to the fog. In the aftermath, significant reforms were implemented to enhance aviation safety. These included runway incursion prevention, implementation of advanced ground radar systems such as Airport Surface Detection Equipment, ASDEX, to detect and prevent runway incursions, especially in low visibility conditions. Enhanced communication protocols, development of clearer and more effective communication protocols between air traffic control and flight crews to prevent misinterpretation of instructions. This included standardized phraseology and additional verification steps. Pilot and ATC training, improved training programs for pilots and air traffic controllers to enhance situational awareness, decision-making skills, and response protocols during critical phases of flight and ground operations. The legacy of Scandinavian Airlines Flight 686 underscores the importance of vigilance, clear communication, and continuous improvement in aviation safety protocols to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Thank you for watching Air Crash Detective. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more detailed accounts of aviation disasters and safety investigations.